Hello and welcome to Simple French Cooking. My name is Francois and today I'm going to teach you a great dish. I am going to teach you Provençale braised beef. It's also known as Daube à la Provençale in the south of France. It's a dish I grew up eating quite a bit as my mother is from Marseille, and this is a dish she used to make for us all the time growing up. Daubes are rustic dishes and they require long, slow cooking. I like to say you cook a daube at a grandmotherly pace. That means super, super slow. And because of the length of time in cooking, I would also suggest making a lot of daube at once, more than you would eat in a single meal. It freezes extremely well, and it's just one of those dishes that's great to have ready at any moment. So you may be wondering what this crazy looking pot is, but this, in the south of France, this is called a daubiere, and it's a pot made specifically just to cook daubes. Its bulbous shape is perfect for it, and what happens is, when you're cooking the meat inside, the steam rises up, it hits the top of this container, cools down, and then comes back down in moisture. And what you end up with is the most succulent meat ever. Now, if you're interested in buying a daubiere, I will post a link where you can get one straight from Provence. They take about 6 weeks because they make them to order, which is pretty cool. They're made in Valerie. A friend of mine's company, Remember Provence, is responsible for getting it to you. So check the links down below. If you don't have a daubiere, you can make this in a regular pot with a tight-fitting lid. It won't be exactly the same, but you can still do it. The very first step in making our daube is to marinate the beef for 24 hours. Now, I'm going to give you my recipe. Every village in Provence has its own variation. Some people use lamb, some use this. There's daubes of all kinds, and I'll post some links to a couple different recipes that I've put online over the years. But I'm going to show you the way I learned. So the first thing to do is to cut your meat into large cubes. Now, I like to cut away a lot of excess fat because who likes to eat big chunks of fat? And then we're going to put them in a pan. Cover it with a bottle of red wine. If you want brownie points, you'd use a Provençale, like a red Bandol or another wine from Provence. Some people like to use white wine. White wine works equally as well. I also add 1 cup of cognac or brandy. You can add any kind you like. And then I just put some herbs. So I have a couple sprigs here of thyme, a little bit of herbs de Provence, and that's it. Now, if you wanted to, you could marinate vegetables in here and a bunch more herbs and all that. That's fine too. But this is the way I'm going to make it today. All right, let's make our daube. So the first thing you want to do is strain your meat. So just take whatever you strain your pasta in, fine mesh strainer, save all the liquid because that's what forms the basis of the sauce. Then you want to rub the inside of your pot or your daubiere with a clove of garlic, and I have this chopped garlic. Then also I put in olive oil. I'm just going to rub the bottom, and that's going to give it that beautiful perfume. Next, you want to put all your meat in. Now, in the old days, I used to sear my meat first. I don't do it anymore. I just pop it right in. This is like one of the easiest things in the world to make here. All right, and then on top of your meat, you're going to want to put chopped onions. I don't cut them too small. This is a rustic stew. I want to have nice pieces in there. Plus, the long cooking, the onions are just going to melt away. All right, on top of the onions, I'm going to put sliced carrots. Now I've peeled these carrots and then just cut them in large pieces like this. Altogether, I have probably 4 or 5 cloves of garlic in there, maybe a 1/4 cup of olive oil. I'm putting in some diced salt pork. If you don't have salt pork, you can find it at most stores, but you could also use bacon if you like. All right, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of unpitted olives. Now, I like to use unpitted olives. I just think they have a better flavor than pitted ones, but use whatever you like. Let's put in a big pinch of herbs de Provence. Oh my God, this is going to be great. Now, this is not traditional, but I like to put 1 star anise inside, and I think the anise flavors kind of complement. I mean, in Provençale cooking, you have lots of fennel, so it's a natural in there. I'm also going to put a couple bay leaves in, big pinch of salt. I have some pureed tomatoes. Now, in the summertime, you could use fresh tomatoes. It's the winter time now, so I'm using canned tomatoes. Let's drop those in there. And then you might be wondering what this weird thing is, and this is an orange peel that I've dried. So next time you eat some oranges, take a paring knife and just cut the skin off, and then just hang it in a cool, dry place for about 5 days and it'll dry out. And what this does is it gives it just this really intense and beautiful citrusy flavor to your stew. You can eat it, but I usually pull it out. So pop that in there, and let's put in our marinade. A little bit of pepper. All right. And then last, I like to put in a big giant pinch of Espelette pepper. I'm actually using Piment de Ville, which is grown in Northern California in a little town called Boonville. So let's just pop that in there. And that's it. Now we're going to put the cover of the daubiere on, and we're going to let this, I'm going to first bring it to a low simmer, very, very low heat on a burner, and then I'm going to pop it into an oven, 300 degrees, and let it cook for about 3 hours or until the meat is tender. And remember, let this cook slowly, super, super slow. You're not in a rush. Daube is a dish too that's better the next day than it is the actual day that you're going to eat it. I like to use a cast iron griddle to act as a diffuser under my daubiere. Alrighty, let's take a look at the daube and see how it looks. It's been on the stovetop for about 1 hour. Oh, look inside there. It's finally come up to a simmer. Now I'm going to pop this into the oven for probably 2 hours or so and just let it cook super, super slow until the meat just falls off the bone. So the daube has cooked for about 2 hours inside the oven at 300 degrees. Let's see how it is. Oh my God. It smells so incredibly good. Let's take a look at this. One thing you notice when you cook inside a daubiere is that the meat doesn't shrink. And the vegetables, I mean, you gotta see these things. Just look like they totally retain their shape. It's just so perfect. Now, like I said, we're not going to eat this daube till tomorrow because it's much better to let it sit for 1 day and eat it then. But I just want to see how tender it is. Oh, look, that is just falling apart. Let's give that a little taste. Mmm. 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 Mm. Oh my God, this is so good. You know, the funny thing is, I've been making daubes for 30, 40 years now. And I only got this daube a couple of years ago. So the first time I actually made daube in a proper daubiere. And it's just such a noticeable difference. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but you should really buy one. If you like daubes, oh my God, that was the hardest 24 hours I've ever been through. I mean, it started with the first 3-4 hours of cooking slowly and the whole house perfumed with the beautiful scents of Provence. And then knowing this dish was just sitting in my fridge, only getting better. And now I'm actually drooling. And now it's lunchtime. My wife and I are ready to eat. And I just wanted to show you how it looks. You know, so one really cool thing about the daubiere is the carrots. Like, they keep their vibrant color and their shape really well. And you just don't get that when you like stew something in a bigger pot. The same with the meat. The meat holds its shape better. But oh my God, I'm drooling uncontrollably right now. This is terrible. I'm glad you can't see. I'll probably Photoshop that out. Anyways, let's just cut into the meat and just look how it falls apart. You know, it's interesting. I put 1 star anise in the dish, and it's amazing how faintly, it's almost like a hidden note in the flavor of the dish that you can't quite place, but it's just that little anisey kind of kick. At any rate, you know, what do people serve with daube? I've had daube with fresh egg noodles like I'm doing now, tossed simply in butter with a little, put a little bit of Parmesan. It's great with gnocchi, it's great with roast potatoes, mashed potatoes. It's great with rice. I mean, anything starchy and creamy is the perfect vehicle for daube. Anyways, give this recipe a try soon. Thank you so much, and please hit the bell, subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. I appreciate everybody that's been watching my videos. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.